Hey guys, Marianne here with Shopping Crafty. This is my second plan with me in my Organized Life Planner, which is now called the Steadfast Over Scattered Planner, which there is a link to below. I printed it myself and put it together with Happy Planner products. I'm using the Heidi Swapp sticker book from Hobby Lobby. I love that this book exists because I always really liked Heidi Swapp products, but I never bought any because there wasn't really enough to work with to make planner spreads, and now this book is very clearly planner themed. I love how my look ahead page turns out. I put a little strip across where it has home and personal to-do lists, and I put I want to and I need to. The I want to is for home projects, things that I would like to get done, and the I need to is my work projects. The sticker on the bottom, in the don't forget section where I usually just put a quote, it says, "Whatever you are, be a good one," which I like. So I fill in my to-dos for the week, and I'm sorry, this spread, I use that pink marker, and that's gonna make it a little hard to read, but I sort of liked how it looked, so I decided to stick with it. You may from time to time in the background hear some sounds. My cat, who broke his leg last week, is in this big dog crate right now, and he's feeling better lately, so he has been wanting to get out of there real rough, and so he's been scraping at the door trying to escape. Poor dear. So this week I have a few projects I'm finishing up going into next week, and I also am just trying to get back on track with some of my household chores, like decluttering my cupboard, cleaning out under the coffee table where I have some planner stuff. I want to move it all into my closet to just sort of consolidate it all, and because I'm now filming the plan with me stuff in there, so I don't use the materials throughout the apartment anymore, and I think that's for the best, less of a mess. And we also have been recording a podcast at our apartment, and our apartment's very small, so the coffee table is where we set up, so I figure I should clean it up underneath and we can store the podcast materials under the table instead. So I flip to the first page for the planning, and I start to set up. I put a this week sticker. I just want to use up stickers, and that's sort of why I like this planner, is it gives you lots of room to do so. And I have so many stickers and I want to use them all, so I don't feel like I have to be shy, and I don't feel like this planner gets as cluttered looking as Happy Planners have for me when I've planned there in the past. So I repurpose the 2-3 line boxes at the top. I put remember and dreams page flags, because this is my goal section instead. It's set up to be priorities and prayers, but I think this works a little better for me. So my goals for the week are to record my next test show, write 1 line in my book per day, work on my outline, film a plan with me and upload, and do a happy hour writing session and set up a debt tracker. I do need to get better at actually doing the goal tasks. There's a few that I've been better at. The podcast is my main focus right now, and the YouTubing, but I feel like I need to get back on track. So I put these little week date headers, and the Wednesday is too short, so I just add a page flag for that, and I do that for the other dates where the sticker is a little bit too small. I'm not usually a big day of the week header user, but I have them, so I want to throw them on there and just get the stickers out. But I like how they look in the planner already. So the first thing I'm doing is putting the hashtag stickers in this blank space that is left open for planner users to appropriate however they want, and I use it for keeping track of my daily YouTubing tasks because I want to make sure that I'm staying on top of it. As you guys have probably noticed, I've been much less consistent with YouTube over the past several months because I'm sort of figuring out what I want to do with the channel and how often I want to post, and I really just want to make sure I'm making it a priority again. Then I go through and I put labels on the to-dos. I decided to just use these stickers that were at the bottom of one of the pages, so they say hello, today, and sublime. I know that it's a to-do list. I'm not too worried about it being super clear. And I also put down the little medical sticker to keep track of Ronnie's medication for his leg. He has a painkiller and an antibiotic that I need to feed him twice a day, which was so hard the first week because he was not eating very much, and so I had to basically force feed him the medicine, which was not fun because he's not a cat that likes treats. He just likes his regular food, and so like a block of cheese wasn't going to work, or a tuna ball wasn't going to work to hide the medicine. But this week his appetite is back and he has grown accustomed to the wet food because he was hungry enough that he started eating it instead of just his dry food, because he is just a dry food cat. So I've noticed this trend where my Monday, I never really like how it looks, and I sort of struggle to find my planning style with the sticker book I'm working with, and then I usually get into a better groove for the rest of the week. So you see me struggling here a little bit. I do like how it ends up more so than how it began. I put this full box sticker and the little, it looks like a quarter box. I mean, it's not a happy planner, so it's not exact proportions, but I want to do some crowd surf transcription work. It's very poorly paid, but I just want to get in the habit of doing that in the mornings sometimes, just for extra little bit of income. So when I end up in a tight spot, I already have that habit for if I need that source of income, for if I lose my job or something, which is what had happened on Sunday. If you guys remember, I got a notice that one of my main nannying jobs wasn't going to need me anymore starting that day, and there was no notice, and I was really counting on that income. So this week was all about trying to find a job. So I ended up not doing the crowd surf on this day. Instead, I just spend the morning applying to jobs. And that night I have an audition to record, so I just put a reminder for that. And then I was nannying from 12 to 7. Another thing I ended up doing in the morning so that I didn't do the crowd surf stuff was one of my clients for editing sent me a couple of documents to finish up. I go ahead and I flip to check out what the yoga video for the day is supposed to be. I've been terrible at actually doing my Fly Lady chores and my yoga. It's just been a busy week, a lot of job hunting, so I go ahead and I fill in those categories anyway because I like reminding myself, making myself write it down and not just letting myself completely drop it, because I need to stay on top of it. I put a "this calls for chocolate" sticker down for my daily rest or my daily self-care. I lost my job, I can have some chocolate, I decided. And then I put a strip down and a quote that says "shake it off." I then layer a challenge accepted sticker on top of another patterned sticker because I'm having a rough week and I wanted to just give myself some motivation. So I go through and I check off and migrate any of the items that I didn't get done for the day, and then I move on to Tuesday. So today I want to work on editing my podcast, recording my voiceover for last week's, and writing 2 lines in my book, and then I wanted to film and upload the plan with me for the week. My cat is driving me crazy, scraping at the crate door. Poor guy. And then I wanted to get some other editing done for my other projects that I have until the 28th, I believe, to send those pages. And then I need to call State Farm and and call my doctor about renewing my referral to the dermatologist. I put a Ciao Bella sticker, which actually fits completely perfectly in the notes section. I mean, it doesn't fill the whole thing, but it fills from the top to the bottom, which I like. For my daily rest, I wrote down Evil Dead. Lex and I have been working our way through that show, Ash vs. Evil Dead, and it is bonkers. But I enjoyed the show. I didn't really like the movies. They were a little too much for me. They were okay. I mean, I have no criticism. They're just not really my thing. So at the end of the day, Tuesday, I go through. I didn't edit the podcast. I actually still haven't as of the recording of this, but I wrote and I recorded the voiceover for last week's video, fed my cat his meds, did all the things that I needed to do. I wasn't feeling very motivated. I was still getting over a bit of a cold, so my to-do list has not been very effective. I've just been migrating things over and over and over all week. On Wednesday, I'm actually working 2 babysitting jobs and walking a dog. The babysitting worked out really well because I had lost the one job, but then another one popped up, so it helps me make up a little bit of the difference, thankfully. So in the morning, it's 8:40 to 2:30, then at 3 I walk the dog, and then at 6 until 11 I nanny the other kid who was asleep most of the time. This one is one of the jobs that's the easiest because I was able to just watch TV with their giant Great Dane, I believe it is, dog. So Wednesday I wanted to post the video, and I actually did finally clean the toilet. I did start to do the yoga video for the week when I was babysitting because I was just sitting there and I had some time, but I was still getting over the cold and I immediately started feeling worse because I've been just congested. I've had a lot of mucus and phlegm, super attractive stuff like that, and the yoga was not working out. But I tried, so hey, I think that counts. Showing up is half the battle. So I try to put down this Boss Babe sticker, and it ends up really just not working for me. Although, of course, whenever I do the voiceover, it ends up not looking as bad as it did to me in the moment. But it just didn't work out for me. You can see I mess with it for a bit. I put down that hello banner and move around the sticker a bit before deciding to just nix it all together. And I put a square choose happy in the corner, and then a little smiley with hearts for eyes. And then I go through and I check off what I did and did not do for the day. I decided at this point to track my income because I'm trying to get back on track with all of my budgeting. It's been a bit of a roller coaster the past couple weeks because of the job loss and the cat, but and the other surprise that's coming up, which is that on Friday my boyfriend texted me. I managed to get a new job. I had 3 job interviews, as you'll see me schedule later, and the first text I got after was, "Oh, congratulations. By the way, my company moved us all into a room and told us that we're closed forever as of today." So that's another adventure we're on right now, but we're handling it, and he was able to actually get a full second week of work before they completely shut down because they need to break things down, which works out. Thursday was a crazy busy day for me. I needed to walk the dog and do some transcription work, do some of my developmental editing, and then what else happened on Thursday? Oh, I needed to do my batch cooking, so that takes up a lot of space too. So I put the Boss Babe sticker down finally over a remember arrow and wrote down the book that I'm editing, and it started to look a little too crowded, so I moved the smiley over. I still haven't edited that podcast. I really need to do that. I have been making a lot of progress in my prep work for the podcast, just not the editing stuff. I've been researching the show that it's about and stuff like that. We're getting there. I had a job inquiry on LinkedIn, and the background casting service that I used to use, I was going to call and sign up with again. And I desperately needed to take a bath and just relax and unwind. I feel like Thursday was the day when I finally felt like I was getting over my cold and could get some work done. Unfortunately, I'm still a little lethargic, and it's already Thursday of the following week, so this cold really took its toll on me, and I'm making it by. It's also just been a high stress couple of weeks. I just really feel like I'm getting behind on things, and I don't want that to be the case. I want to get back on track with editing and yoga and cleaning and cooking and everything. I've been doing pretty well with cooking, but the other stuff has been falling to the wayside. I just feel like I need rest all the time. So I go ahead and put down these individual check marks to jot down all of the recipes that I will be batching that day. And I get through most of them. I think there's just one recipe that I don't finish that day. The meal plans I use, I mentioned this in my past plan with me. They're from the website Clean Food Dirty Girl. It is whole food plant-based menu items, so vegan but healthy vegan. So grains, seeds, nuts, plants, anything like that. All very, very delicious food. You would be amazed at how delicious this can be. And then I don't have to deal with cooking meat and worrying about like undercooking it and getting sick and stuff like that. I'm more so than anything, I'm not vegan or vegetarian. I just don't really like cooking meat because it grosses me out a little bit. So I'm really happy that I found these meal plans. And even if I really, really missed meat, I don't think I would ever stop these meal plans at this point because the food is so good. I mean, every single recipe isn't going to be amazing because not every recipe is for every person, but when it's good, it has me dancing. It is the best food in the world. I think I'm going to do a November setup video coming up soon, and in that I can't show you the full recipes, of course, because it's a paid for service and I don't want to infringe that way, but I'll go through and show you guys how I plan out which meals I'm going to do for the month and set up my grocery list, and I buy all the dry goods first. So Friday, I had 3 job interviews. At this point, I only had 2. There's one for a nannying job in the morning and one for working at a yoga studio. I ended up going to the first one and we hit it off, and I'm starting that job tomorrow and I'm so excited. And I'm so happy that I only missed a week of income because I need income, believe it or not. So I go ahead and put down some weekend stickers. That's another thing that I really like about this planner. It gives me space to put a bunch of weekend stickers because I have far too many. And I also like that I'm not a server anymore, so the weekend is actually exciting for me. It used to be miserable, so the weekend banners I never got to enjoy. They were just extra clutter all around, and I like being able to use a lot of stickers and feel like I spent money on them, and I want to be able to use them, but I feel like they always look so crowded in other planners. I also need to walk the dog that day. That's our last day for walking Pip. And I wanted to get some more editing done and decorate for Halloween. And this was the day when my boyfriend was laid off, which was a bummer. We've had a couple crazy weeks. I don't know what's going on with the universe. I also just found out today that one of my friends, her boyfriend broke his leg in 3 places this weekend. So something's in the air. I don't know. It's terrible. But considering how much we've been through in the past few weeks, we are doing great. My boyfriend already has more job interviews lined up and super positive attitude, and we're going to get it done. It's all good. So I met the lady that I'm going to be nannying for at a coffee shop and had a cappuccino. So I put that for my daily rest. It was so delicious. And then I also had an interview at a daycare, but I had already at that point gotten the first nannying job, and it was a much better fit for me for better pay because the nannying job would have been $15 an hour to take care of a bunch of kids. And this one is more than that for one kid. So So I decided to jot down the news. And that's the thing that I love about this planner and that space, is that I had no reason to plan to jot something like that down, that we lost another job, but there was the space for it. You can roll with the punches and still feel like you're put together in your planning. Because I feel like that's where people fall off a lot, is like, oh, I made all these plans, they didn't work out. Now my planner's inaccurate and it's just discouraging. But this, I feel like, because it has so much space, you can adapt it and feel like you're still on top of things even if you had a setback. So I layer this arrow sticker under a first sticker to write down what I gotta do on Saturday. On Saturday, we have to do a recording of our podcast. It was our third test show. I'm getting so excited about it. I think Lex is a little bit like, okay, but calm down. We're gonna burn out on it before we even get started. But I'm really excited about it. I've never done a podcast, and it's about Friends, the TV show, and I am obsessed, and I'm so excited to be able to deep dive into it and totally nerd out. And then at night I am babysitting. I end up babysitting from 3 to 11:30 instead of 4, so I ended up having to make a coffee run and wake Lex up early because we weren't planning on recording till later in the day, and we watched an episode of Dawson's Creek, and then we record, and because we're doing our test shows about Dawson's Creek to test things out, and so we need a decent amount of time in order to get that all done. I wanted to clean the litter box, and that night after I get home, we watched Halloween, the original, because the next day we go see the movie, the new one. I have been reading the book Station 11 forever, and it was so hyped up for me, and I think I'm almost always in a state of reading burnout because it has to do with one of my main sources of income is reading and critiquing books. So unfortunately, I'm moving through it at a snail's pace, but oh well. I also wanted to start printing my meal plans for next month and the planner pages for next month in December, but I ran out of paper and then I ran out of ink. So ink is on the way, and I still need to run to the store to get the printer paper, but then next week I'll show you guys my whole November setup in this planner. I'm so excited to show you guys because you've only so far seen the weekly stuff, and there's all this setup for the month that I am in love with. And it makes me feel so much more organized and get so much done, and it's great. So Sunday during the day, we decided to go to brunch. We were feeling like it was a holiday or something, and it just felt like a really nice day off, and we wanted to enjoy ourselves. So we treated ourselves to some brunch, which may sound like a bad idea to somebody when they know that we both recently lost our jobs, but I think that's sort of why we wanted to go. It was like acknowledging that we are going to be okay, because I think he and I both often struggle with having positive outlooks, and for once it's like we were met with a bunch of worrying reality hitting us in the face, and we both were able to be like, okay, but we've got this, we're gonna be okay, we've already applied for 1 million jobs for you, you've already got another job, like, let's just enjoy ourselves and have a nice relaxed day. We've earned it at this point, and then we're back on the hustle. So now I go ahead and fill out my look back for the week. It's a category for what went well, what did not go well, and your best memory for the week. I'm not a huge fan of this section. I don't feel like I need it, but I'm a completionist, so I want to fill it out a little bit anyway. The best part was, I don't know. Oh, the best part of my day is what that sticker says. I decided to just throw it down so that I could use another sticker because why not? I found a new job this week. Ron's definitely doing a lot better. His leg is so much stronger. And our test show went well. Our second one did not. It stopped recording at a certain point for some reason, and also I think I was just too sick and Lex was tired, and it was just a mess of a show. But we did it, and that's the main point, is getting in the habit of every Saturday setting up and recording. And we've been doing well. And this sticker, it wasn't going to cover up all the words, so I just put it below. And I think it looks fine. You can see the S there looks a little crazy because I did not intend on revealing the name of the company, but it's no big deal. It was a good place to work for Lex. One of the little girls I nanny for, her sister got a Harry Potter trunk kit thing for her birthday recently, and she was putting on all of the cloak and the glasses and a tie and a scarf, and she was just the cutest Harry Potter I have ever seen. So I put that as my best memory for the week. And that brings us to the end. I think the first page of this, I love how the look ahead turned out. I think it looks so cute. And then the week came together pretty well overall. I do love the Heidi Swapp stickers. I just wish there were more of certain kinds of stickers. Like, I love the florals and the stripes and less like shiny, bright stuff. But I love that there were all the hashtags, and I love that this was very clearly a planner sticker book from Heidi Swapp and not just a general scrapbooking type scenario, because I've wanted that for a long time and I'm so happy it exists. I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks.